If you're paying too much in taxes, it's because you're not working with the right CPA. Yes, it's as simple as that. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 things that you must do if you're trying to look for the best CPA for your real estate business. I'm going to talk about what questions to ask, what warning signs are you should be looking at, and when to run. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first thing is you have to be able to look for value in the relationship. Too often we look at price comparison. How much is this person charging versus that person? And if this CPA charges $1,000 for my taxes, but somebody else charges $2,000, then most investors tend to go with the cheaper option. But the reality is we shouldn't just be looking at pricing, we should be looking at value. What is the value that's being provided? What if I hired someone for $1,000 to do my taxes, but they miss out on $20,000 worth of tax savings? Well, then I just lost out on $20,000 of tax savings trying to save $1,000 in tax filing fees. So very, very important when you're interviewing someone, can we quantify the value and not just look strictly at pricing? The second thing you should be looking for when you're interviewing for the right CPA is to find out whether they actually do tax planning. And no, it's not as simple as asking, do you do tax planning? Because they will always say yes. And then what happens a lot is the tax planning just turns into a series of Q&As. For example, can I use the short-term rental loophole? Can I be a real estate professional? Can I do cost segregation? If that is the planning session you're in, then you have to run because that means they're not doing true planning. True tax planning is where your CPA has a specific set of questions or conversations where they want to know more about you. What have you done in the past? What are you doing right now? And what do you plan to do? And it's in those very simple conversations that your tax team will be able to help create strategies for you to implement. Similar to like when you go see a doctor, the doctor has very intentional questions that they ask you. It is intended to diagnose your problem so that they can then prescribe the intended solution. And that works exactly the same way when it comes to tax planning. All right, the third thing when you interview CPAs is to ask more powerful questions. You don't want to ask, do you do taxes for real estate investors? Because 10 out of 10 times, they're going to say yes. So we want more powerful questions to really figure out whether they know their stuff. Maybe something like, what are some potential tax changes coming up that you think I should know as a real estate investor? Or what are some of your favorite real estate tax strategies? Another really good one is, what are some common tax mistakes that you see made by other CPAs when it comes to real estate? If you're trying to find out the caliber of where this specific CPA is, then a really great question to ask them is, what are your successful clients doing right now in real estate? If the story they share is, oh, so-and-so owns 2 or 5 rental properties, then you know that's who they define as successful. Or if they have a story that says, hey, my clients are doing a lot of things in real estate, they have apartment buildings, they do self-storage, then you know they have a higher caliber of client. Ask more powerful questions so you can get better answers and get more insight into just how much or how little they actually know. The fourth thing you want to know is, what is their reputation? Are they known to be experts in a specific industry? If you're a real estate investor, you want to work with someone who understands real estate. How do other people refer to them? Do they refer to them as experts or not? Unfortunately, many accountants and CPAs are generalists, which means that they work with all types of people. Whether you do manufacturing or restaurants or farming, they can help with it all. But the reality is the tax code is very complex. And so to be a specialist, it means that you know all the ins and outs of real estate and real estate related strategies. So if you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of real estate tax savings, make sure you're working with someone who understands real estate and is an expert in that specific field. And last but not least, you have to interview for a CPA that you actually like. Yes, it's as simple as that. It should be someone who is your team player. It should not be someone that you are afraid to speak with, or you have to be cautious about your conversation, or that you dread talking to. CPAs and accountants are known for speaking a different language, using different jargon. Just make sure it's someone you like and that it's someone you can easily communicate with. You can have the best CPA in the world, but if you don't understand what they're trying to tell you and you can't implement because you don't understand it, then that's not going to be a good relationship. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to learn more.